Hello, card gamers. This past weekend was the Battle Spirits Saga World Championship in Los Angeles, California. The first one ever, and it was a good time. And in this video, I wanted to basically give a tournament report. What deck did I use? What were my matchups? How did they go? Lessons learned, just tournament experience overall. And let's get to it. So we'll start with the deck. I chose to bring Red Green Gale, and unfortunately, probably my worst matchup is Smag, and Smag was probably one of the most represented decks at Worlds somehow. It's just crazy. Yeah, because before, like at the Pro Tour, for example, I brought Smag to the Pro Tour. The Yellow Fabled Beast matchup seemed pretty close to unwinnable, but like somehow I still won like 2 of my 3 matches against Fabled Beast at the Pro Tour, which is crazy. But basically, the gamers figured it out. They figured out how to beat it with Smag, and they all brought Smag, and then it made my life really hard. And I literally played against Smag, Troy Yamaguchi, Smag, round 1, and it was a rough life. But anyway, the sad part is, this is like what I brought. I only brought this and like my cards that I was planning on selling. And so when I heard that there was going to be a lot of Smag, I was like, oh, too late. So I like all I did was like change my deck list to add a 3rd Thorn Prison in it. And so I was at 51 cards. And so that's what I was able to, that's the change I was able to pivot to. We'll talk about the deck list really quick first, and then I'll go back into the matches and I'll tell you how everything went. Okay, so we've got 4 Beldegor for Dino Man, mostly just for turn 1 plays and just early defense. We've got 8 draw spells with Starblast Draw and Strong Draw. And then we're just playing the 2 best Gale Spirits with Tokiwa and Feng Wang. And then we're also playing Andromeda, 4 of them, and then 2 Novas, and then 2 Burning Forces. So that's 6 Nexus removal in the main deck. The hardest challenge I had trying to make decks, so like before this, I was like testing a like Trident Nova list for a couple weeks, and then it turned into like just like Trident Apollo Dinos. And man, I in a sense I kind of wish I would have just still brought that list, because I was main decking 1 Seabed Lighthouse and it was really good. And I was also playing 2 Namengard in it. It was really crazy. So anyways, we pivoted to Gale because I was looking at Emiliano's top 8 Pro Tour green red list, his Hot Wings list, and the more I looked at it, the more I just really thought it was a really good deck. And this isn't actually super close to it at all. Like, he had so much more red stuff in there. This is very different than it. But over the time of me playing red, what I learned is that Nebula Dragon Andromeda is like one of the best cards in the game. It's actually really crazy. You get to destroy a Nexus, sure, which is great. Sometimes you just kill a spirit with 3,000 or fewer. Sure, that's great. It does suck that it is a mandatory when summoned effect, so it does activate Starblast Draws a lot. But it costs 6, so it doesn't get flood streamed. It almost always gets that first +1 for killing something just on summon. And then with 5 cores, you have Confront, and it's huge. So you can summon it. If your opponent has exhausted stuff, just summon it, put 5 cores on it, just sit there. If your opponent wants to attack, like obviously Andromeda is going to kill something. If they don't, then on your turn, you're just going to attack and kill something. And then if you're playing Suppression, which I unfortunately only had in the sideboard, and you'll see if you haven't checked out Caleb's winning list from Worlds, suppression is just really insane as well. And there were multiple times in the tournament where somebody else's Andromeda with suppression got me too. So they attack, confront, kill my thing, and then I go to attack on my turn, and then they suppression the Andromeda, and it's like so crazy, so good. Andromeda is one of the best cards in the game, absolutely. Yeah, and then from there, you know, just literally nothing crazy. 4 Highlands, 4 Volcanic Canyon. You could consider Volcanic Canyon the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th draw spells, you know? Just really trying to find the combos as fast as possible. And then, yeah, 2 Burning Force, 2 Dream Bomb, 2 Floodstream. 2 Floodstream to stay alive against aggro, because this deck is super weak against aggro, which is also why I was playing Dino Man and Beldegor. And Dream Bomb, because Dream Bomb's also one of the best cards in the game. And then Thorn Prisons, because Thorn Prisons also just probably one of the best cards in the game. And in my opinion, probably should be banned. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on that. Side deck, 2 more Floodstream. Like I said, aggro's crazy. Dream Bombs for white control and just Namengard is insane as well. Suppressions to stay alive. And, you know, especially against like Fabled Beast and red mid-range. Feral Slash, because just cheaper Nexus removal and also helps against aggro as well. And Chain Angel, which is a fun card that I was able to find due to multiple weeks of hints from a friend. Just teasing me, never really giving me much information, but I was eventually able to find it. And you can only really use this in ramp decks such as Gale or probably Smeg, and you use it to play like a draw spell or something in your main step. You don't do it in the flash, because if you do it in the flash, then they can Floodstream it or Dream Bomb it before you get to use your spell. So you got to do it in main step to be safe. You use like a Dream Bomb to bounce a Namengard, and then you use this effect right here when you pay the Soul Core when you activate the Dream Bomb, and then you can choose their Enterprise or some other card that just can't block this turn. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. Or you can just activate your Starblast draw on the main step and do this too. This is the deck. Now, what happened? And let's should I just give you the record right up front? No. We'll go through it. Okay, you'll get the full experience if you don't already know. So, round 1, Troy Yamaguchi, he's on Smag. I'm like, great. Worlds is starting out playing against my worst matchup. Somehow, game 1, I kill him. I get him. It's crazy. I have no idea how. No freaking way. We're 8 minutes into this already, and I'm just telling you about round 1. Wow. If you watch this whole video, you're insane. Thanks for watching. So, Smag, I kill him round 1, and then some awkward stuff happened in game 2 where, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember there being a couple turns where like I think I had this opportunity to do something, and it probably was just like play a Highlands early, but maybe I was scared of him using an Nexus removal on it. I'm not sure which thing it was, but I had an opportunity to do something, but I was scared, so I didn't do it. And then basically the consequences of that decision led to, like, over the next 2 turns, eventually Troy's board just became like just so much harder to deal with, and just made me behind like the rest of the game. It was really crazy. And then he got me. And then we went into game 3, and it was also really difficult. It looked like I was maybe gonna be able to get away with it, and I can't remember how it ended honestly, but he got me. So going to round 2, I play against Spencer Freeman. He is also on Red Gale, but there's a major problem, because you see, his list was actually built way better for the Red Gale mirror match. He didn't have Beldegors or Dino Man, and he didn't have Nova. Instead, he had Worker Ant-Man, He had Namen guards, and he still had the Andromedas. So yeah, he still knew what was up. But it just he 2-0'd me. It was really hard. We both had our moments of being able to like kill the other person's Andromeda with our own Andromeda, but ultimately he summons an elephant. I think on one of those games I was able to dream bomb it pretty early, and then he wasn't able to summon it for like 4 or 5 turns after that. But yeah, super hard match. And oh, there was also one moment where he had exactly 11 cores, I think, and he just summoned Feng Wang at 1, but I was able to use Andromeda to kill it. Honestly, that was probably my only favorable moment in that in those 2 games, because it was really hard. There's definitely some moments of him being able to have the Star Bless set when my Andromeda comes down, and me not being able to get my Star Blesses in time for when his Andromedas came down. And like I said, his deck was better built. He's also a legendary gamer, obviously. So that was hard. So then round 3. So we have 2 losses at the beginning of Worlds. No big deal. We're in the Shadow Realm. Game 3, we play against EJ. He is playing an Archduke, Alvar Plains. I don't know exactly what like combo deck, basically. If you don't know what those cards are, let's look it up real quick, right? Archduke, am I saying this word right? Yeah, this card. Okay, he's using this card in combination with Alvar Plains to create a combo where he attacks, with like Rotting Swamp too, sometimes too. So it's like, and he had a Costume Artist in there too. Attack with Archduke. It summons a Ant-Man that's not exhausted. Then he can attack with the Ant-Man, and then if you block it and it dies, then he gets to restand the Archduke. And then Archduke attacks and then summons another Ant-Man. And so, infinite attacks. It was actually a super cool deck. He actually did get me in game 2. He was playing Plant Trap as well, like multiple Plant Traps. And there was a moment where I think it might have happened from like a Beldegor summoning in the attack step, and the Plant Trap happened, and like the next turn I like literally almost died. I'm pretty sure I had to do something really sucky, like use a Dream Bomb and an Ice Shield from hand at the same time to stay alive, but he still killed me in one of those games. But I did win the match, so we got our first win. Then next we play against Alex. I believe it's from the UK. It's either Alex or Thomas. They're brothers, I think. But I played against the white aggro one. He's playing white aggro. Game 1, he kills me in like 5 minutes. And then the next 2 games were 25 minutes long, because I sided everything, and I'm able to put my whole side deck in, and I took out 3 Heavenly Emperors, 2 Novas, all 4 Canyons, and 1 Highlands. And there's a chance that maybe I should have not sided the Chain Angels in and maybe just kept the Feng Wangs, because actually in game 3 I was able to summon Feng Wang, and it made me win the game. It was really hard, but both matches were really hard. Playing against white aggro, your choices are so narrow, and actually probably every turn there's exactly 1 play you can make where you don't die. And so I had to just precisely figure out what those plays were. It was crazy, but it worked out for me. It was a good game though. It was crazy. It was super intense. So now we're 2-2. We're like, geez, that was intense. So what's next? We go into round 5, and my opponent is a Spira, and I'm like, okay, this is probably gonna be a challenge. We'll see what's happening. He plays Smag. Oh no. right back at square one, playing against a smag deck again, and it was really hard. It was a really fun game. It was super intense. We had a lot of going some back and forth. I might have in game one literally used the double effect of Starblast Draw on all of my Starblast Draws. And we get to this point. Let me just tell you how crazy this is. Okay, this was a 29-minute game one. And I got to talk to Aspira day two a little bit more about this too, and found out some of the funny things about his deck choices ever since set 3 came out. It's not even necessarily funny, but like I get it. It makes sense. I was doing a little bit of the same thing with some of my decks. So here we go. Let me set up the situation for you. We're like 28 minutes into this match. I'm at 5 life still. I believe he might have been at 1 life. I don't know if this happened on the same turn, but he did curse combo me. I'm pretty sure it did happen the same turn. But it didn't matter because I don't have white spirits in my deck. And I don't have white nexuses in my deck. Some of you might know what I'm about to say. So, he curse combos me. He's got 4 spirits on the board. I don't know if he summoned Aegis this turn or the last, but he might be at 2 life now. So he's got 4 big chunks on the board. And I don't have any burst set. The only thing on my whole board is Volcanic Canyon, and I've got like 13 cards in my hand, 3 of which are Absolute Ice Shield. And then he plays Seabed Lighthouse, which says that your opponent can't use magic cards during the attack step unless they have that symbol on their board. So I can't use an Ice Shield from hand unless I have a White Spirit or White Nexus. I don't have either of those. But he enters the attack step. He attacks. I'm like, okay, wow, he didn't summon a 5th spirit. I guess I'm okay. He attacks. I'm at 2 life. He goes to attack with his last spirit. And I notice his last spirit has a soul core on it. And I'm like, no way. You don't have that card in your deck. I might have even said it out loud. And then he played Double Heart on it. So I just died. I just died because of Seabed and Double Heart, which come to find out later is just like 2 1-of cards that he just puts in all of his decks now. So amazing. And yeah, then we go into game 2. Well, I sit there with literally 3 Ice Shields in my hand. Like, I could have just set one of these on my last turn. So, super unfortunate. But we go into game 2. And this also felt like it was a really solid game. A lot of back and forth. And eventually, I honestly, I think I was about to get him. I don't know what was in his hand. But I was able to pressure him like 2 turns in a row, I think, possibly with Feng Wang, with him having to like Dream Bomb it and stuff. But like time just ran out. And honestly, like he was playing at the appropriate pace. Nothing that I could complain about. And he made his plays. And it came to my turn, and on my last turn I had 2 Highlands on the board, and I summoned another Feng Wang and some other stuff. I didn't even ramp, even though I'm pretty sure it's mandatory, but I knew, I was like, I have no time. I'm not gonna spend any time trying to get all these cores. I had infinite cores already, and I was trying to just go so fast, and I go into attack with Feng Wang, and then it's like time in the round, and we're in the middle of game 2, so he just GG's, he won. So a little bit unfortunate, but honestly, even if we had a minute longer and I was able to kill him right there, it wouldn't have been a fun game 3 at all. It would have been a complete coin toss for us anyways, because we both are playing super slow decks that don't do anything. Like literally in game 2, I think I said a Starblast draw. He might have said a Starblast draw. And I think we both did nothing for like 5 turns in a row, just waiting to be able to always be able to pull full pay on Starblast draw. And so it wouldn't have been fun anyway. So that's that situation. So boom, sadness, 3rd loss. Oh boy. Then we go into, wait, am I lying? That was actually round 6. I'm lying to you all. Round 6 is when that happened. I skipped a round, which was round 5, the true round 5, which was actually a red-green mirror again. This was against Jorge. He was playing Apollo Dinos, and he might have even been playing... No, was he playing Trident? No way. I don't think so. But game 1, I got him. And then game 2, one of the craziest things I've ever seen happen, and he killed me. It was crazy. I'm pretty sure it literally looked something like this. He goes first, plays Highlands. Then on my turn, I might have played Highlands. And then on his turn, he plays another Highlands. And then on my turn, I have no idea what I did because it didn't matter. Because then on his turn, he played a 3rd Highlands, then he played a Jaeger, and then he played every card in his hand, which included 2 Feng Wongs. I'm pretty sure it was Jaeger, Toki, Feng Wong. Literally just infinite cores, full board, full power, everything, and I was dead. Instantly dead. It was crazy. And then I got him in game 3. It was a pretty tight game 3 as well. So a lot of back and forths, nothing really super specific to shout out other than that game 2 where he just insta-killed me. It was crazy. So yeah, then round 6 was Aspira, which then put me back to a 3-3. I'm even again. 50% win rate. We go into round 7 and I play against Emil. And he was playing ultimately what I found out in the end to be a Trident Nova deck, but it was more mid-range-ish, I would maybe think. I don't think he had many copies of Nova, maybe just 2. But he was a very fast player, but game 1, he was able to go pretty aggro with multiple Bearded Eagles, and I wasn't able to get stabilized fast enough. I'm pretty sure he might have got like 2 Starblast Straws resolved too. It was super hard. And then in game 2, so unfortunate, I made a gigantic misplay. It might have not mattered anyways, because I think he might have had a Dream Bomb or some other way of solving my board state, but he had 2 exhausted guys, one of which was a 4 cost or lower. I think it was an Eagle. And I was pretty low on cores, but I can't remember. I might have been trying to play a little bit too fast since I was down game 1. And I summoned Beldegor. But I didn't want Beldegor to kill something, but something in my mind just decided to forget that like Beldegor is gonna kill that Eagle. But I needed Beldegor to not kill that Eagle so that my Feng Wong could bounce it back to his hand and refresh and attack again. But it happened, and then when I attacked with Feng Wong, then how did it happen again? It might have been like I attacked with Feng Wong and I got to return his Trident to his hand, and then I either on his turn or during the attack step or something like that, then he did like a Thorn Prison anyways, and so I didn't have any blockers anyways. And what I should have done is just not played the Beldegor, because I'm pretty sure I still had like a Dream Bomb, some other thing in my hand to respond to his attacks next turn anyways. So It made it hard, and he killed me. He got me. 2-0'd me. It sucked. We had a really fun, good chat afterwards. Very friendly player. And then round 8, I played against Richard. I can't remember how. Turong might have been his last name. Nice friendly gamer. Unfortunately, like, we were both really tired, and he was playing Fabled Beasts. We go into it, and I was so out of it. I totally forgot, like, as I'm playing against him, I see Fabled Beast things. I forgot, like, hey, Travis, they don't have Nexus removal, usually. You can just slam your Highlands down. I played like 4 turns in a row without playing Highlands out before I realized this, and it was just playing this like harder game. And I was like, oh my gosh, forgot they don't have Nexus removal. Just play the Highlands down. And then I was able to get him. And then game 2, there was this pretty pivotal moment where he had, man, he was able to get too many Nexuses. I think I got to kill one Paradise pretty early, but then he had like triple Cathedral and then Paradise down, and it was getting pretty crazy, getting out of hand. And then I had a Feng Wang on the board, full power. I think on his last turn I like attacked, it bounced 2 things, did some damage, and then he played Flagellum. He attacks. He had a million cores. He exhausts Nexuses. And then he exhausts Nexuses, and then I dream bombed it after that. So the 2 exhaust Nexus stay in the trash. My Feng Wang is at 5,000 power still. The second one killed my Toki on board, which allowed me to summon a Beldegor that I could block with. And then I think I was able to get him the next turn. And so ended 4-4. Overall, I mean, the games were good. It really sucked on the couple of misplays. Ultimately, it all comes back to the misplay that I made in game 2 of round 1, because obviously that determined the course of the rest of the tournament of who I was playing it against, what decks I was playing against, and a lot of different stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean I would have done any better, right? Because I'd have different opponents, different situations. Who knows how anything would have gone. But overall, it was fun. It's always fun going to these events and catching up with all of the Battle Spirits friends that I've basically made along this whole year of going to the launch event, going to Palm Springs, going to Ohio, going to New Jersey, and going to Pasadena, Portland, and ultimately Los Angeles. So it was a lot of traveling for me. I maybe usually travel like once per year. And so Battle Spirits got me back into physical card games. Here I am again, paying for shiny cardboard. It's been fun though. And I love the friends that I made along the way. There's so many of them, too many to count for sure, but I'm sure you all know who you are, and I appreciate you all. And even being able to finally talk to and chat with some that I've been meaning to all along, such as Aspira, for example. I'm pretty sure I've made eye contact with him at every single event that I've seen him at, and just never, I don't know, took the opportunity or never actually got to hang out and chat. And we had an awesome, really good chat afterwards, after our game ended in round 6, and I had a nice little chat the next day a little bit. So yeah, it's fun. And Cosmic's been rad too. Like I said, I can't just start naming names. We'll be here all day, and this video is already 29 minutes 41 seconds long. If you made it here, leave a comment. 29:41. If you literally made it this far, you must love Battle Spirits and the community and hanging out, and for some reason these videos. So thank you. Oh gosh, there's so many good people. Brian, I want to name some of them. Brian, he was the new player, who I believe he got 9th at the most recent Pro Tour with White Aggro, and barely started playing like 2 months ago or something, maybe 3 months ago. And Yami and like all of his friend group, Emmy and all of Kieran, all of those guys from Europe, overseas. Oh geez, there's gonna be too many. Kyle, Steven. Oh my gosh, of course Zach and Ryan. Oh boy, I'm gonna miss some people, and I don't want to sit here and do the ums for a million years. Oh my gosh. Forgive me if I haven't said your name, but y'all are amazing. I appreciate all of you. Oh, Way is super cool and friendly. Oh geez. Yeah. Oh, AJ. Oh my gosh, yeah, you guys are awesome. It was a fun year for sure. I regret nothing. I mean, obviously, other than not playing Smag, I knew something in my heart. I played Smag at the Pro Tour, and something in my heart was just gonna say, I don't care, I'll still play Smag. Oh gosh, that's unfortunate. You know what? Let's look up something really quick because I'm curious. Because my deck lists are kind of messed up and gone now. Because you know, planning for Worlds. But let's look at my recent video. This 24 decks for Worlds. Did I have? I can't remember what it was. Is it this? Oh my gosh! I could have just played this deck. Like it wouldn't have been as good, right? Like Caleb's deck still would have crushed me. Caleb's deck still would have crushed me with the Scotty. He was too big brain. Those gamers were too big brain. And honestly, the Nexuses were super unnecessary here. Yeah. But I mean, I knew that my brain, if I would have spent any more time, I didn't spend enough time, obviously, but my brain was like, man, Namengard's so insane. You don't need the hippos. With Aegis, you don't need the hippos. I was almost there. And you don't need these Nexuses either. Suppression is the super strong thing too. Just replace Thorn Prisons with Suppression. This deck might have been interesting. Yeah. Andromeda, the key. The key to solving the problem of Fabled Beasts for the ramp decks, honestly. And also, I'm sure some of you probably know too, but the combo of Turbo Rex and Aegis, being able to force your opponent to attack with Genbu first, and then you block with Aegis, and then Aegis bounces whatever spirit they chose to be unblockable, and then Aegis just trades with Genbu, and you just are fine with that. Unless, I mean, you might even have BP boost. Maybe I might have been thinking about this too with just having the Namen City as well, just to be able to have like 1000 BP over it, so it forces them to try to use an exhaust Nexus. But then if I use a suppression, then I don't have suppression. This side wasn't real. This side was from my last deck, but then I guess still get over it with suppression. That'd have been interesting. But Scotty was crazy. Props to Caleb for sure on the Scotty call. That team, you guys are insane. Okay. That's it. We can't go into it too much. Yeah, my only regret is not playing Smag. Something in my heart knew to just say, screw it, we won't play against Fabled Beast, play Smag. I didn't realize how severe Andromeda was going to help solving the Fabled Beast problem for Smag. But that's okay. Anyways, we got new cards coming out in a month or two. Wait, in a month? Yeah, in a month. So... hey, I got a video coming up. Probably it might even be out at the same day. I'm gonna show you guys. I got 3 decks I already brewed on the way home from Worlds, and I'm pretty excited about them. They might not suck, and also it won't matter because there's no cash prizing tournament for you to play them in anyways. So, all right, I'll catch you in the next one.